talk about the pros and the cons. Whether it's hard to say. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I struggle to find some cons for working for Qkids, but I do have a couple, so we'll start with those. I guess my first one would be that it's kind of odd hours. So for me, I'm in the Atlantic Standard Time Zone in Canada. So for me, when it's nighttime in Beijing, it's generally morning or the middle of the night. So in Beijing, you're mostly going to be teaching during their daytime hours, which are our nighttime hours, and very early in the morning. So for me, I have set up my availability as 7:30 a.m. Atlantic Standard Time until 10 a.m. Atlantic Standard Time. So in that, I usually teach about 4 classes, and there's a 10-minute break in between each class. And this is so helpful because often you end up running over the previous class, I guess depending on how rewards go. You generally end up going over, I sometimes do like 2 or 3 minutes right now, trying to cut that down, but the 10-minute gap really helps just if you need to run to the bathroom really quick in between class or anything like that. But the only con really for here is just the time of day it is. So if you wanted to teach as many classes as you could and you were in Atlantic Standard Time, you would be teaching from 11 p.m. at night until 10 a.m. in the morning. So right now they have some bonus slots just due to the coronavirus happening, of course. So students are still not in classes. We're all on lockdown. So they've actually opened up, they have 17 teaching slots per day available compared to their previous 12. So this is really good, but the hours are definitely strange depending on where you are. So I just set mine up for what I knew I could do. So I struggle a lot physically and mentally in the morning. So I don't want to push myself too far. So I just want to do 4 classes. Even that is sometimes too much, and that's okay. I have requested off a couple classes already, and they are so good about it. It is phenomenal. But okay, one last con. The classes / the PowerPoints you're actually teaching can and will change last minute. So at first I didn't really know what this meant, but you will be booked in for a class and it'll show up on your schedule. There'll be the PowerPoint there, everything. But when you scroll down, your student slots are empty. So no students are actually booked in there, but the class has been booked. So these usually change before you actually teach it, but I have had a few that haven't changed and just have stayed empty. If they do end up filling, usually the PowerPoint will change, and usually it'll be just a few hours before you actually teach the class. So it's really key that you understand how to teach all of the games on the platform and just have a basic understanding of the platform before going into it, because it does change sometimes. With that being said though, they really do prepare their teachers to be super prepared to teach these. So even if it is a random class, it keeps a very similar structure to all the other PowerPoints you will have taught. So it'll be the exact same games, just different words, same sentence frames, just taking 1 or 2 little things out. So they really keep it consistent and make it beneficial, like really for the teachers and for the students, because they can learn, or the teachers can teach them regardless of how much time they have to prepare. Whereas in other companies I've noticed, the preparation on the teacher's side is so intense. I am not super experienced in teaching, so this is kind of a perfect opportunity for me to, I guess, build my skills, start to prepare, start to plan, but it doesn't have the same in-depth lesson planning that some other companies do. So that's been great. I feel like I've been all over the place in terms of talking, but I guess I'll try and mention a few more pros. So this was really easy to come up with. So they assign you classes. They actually give you your schedule. You do not have to get the attention of the parent. You pick me, I'm the best teacher. Where other platforms, You have to advertise yourself and your qualities to the parent for them to pick you. Qkids will assign you your classes based on your schedule that's available. So I've picked from 7:30 a.m. to 10 Eastern Standard Time, and I am fully booked for this week and all of next week. So that's incredible. Like there's no other teaching app I've been able to find that has been able to give me that. I'm still working for VIP Kid. I still have time slots open, and I still do not have any classes. Whereas I've already been paid from Qkids for some classes I've taught. So great. Amazing pro. Another pro is you're actually paid for standby classes. So you remember what I told you before, where sometimes you will get a class that you scroll down and it says empty. There's actually no students there. These, if you don't have a student booked into it, you don't have to teach it, but you still get paid. So you're just gonna wanna wait 10 minutes in the classroom, and then you can leave. Get the full $8, pay $8 US for that class, even though you didn't have any students. So that's great. I mentioned this already a bit, but the platform is incredible. Everything. Less stress, less prep. There's no external rewards required, which is amazing. You don't have to pick a Google Slides for every single topic. You don't need to have a reward ready to give to your students. There are diamonds built into the platform that the kids love. No lie, I had a kid literally try to barter with me for a diamond. He refused to repeat a word back for me unless I gave him 2 diamonds. But I skirted out of that and just kept reiterating, all right, Peter, you can have 2 diamonds, but you gotta say this word. Eventually he did. They love the diamonds, so this helps. It also hurts sometimes, as you can tell. A really big pro, you don't have to make external rewards. Also, this platform is so great. They have stickers built in. You can put masks on your face, the students. Really makes it super interactive. So I love using the stickers actually in the warm-up part before class, and kids just love it. So I've started just feeding myself different stickers. So they have food stickers like hamburgers, pizza, ice cream, noodles, mooncake, a whole bunch of stuff. And if I'm dealing with kind of maybe a more quiet group of students, or they just don't seem to be super focused, I will start off with this warm-up and I just put a sticker on my face and make it look like I eat it. And then I click X and the sticker disappears and they just lose it. Like, no lie, the kids love it. So if you're ever struggling with a warm-up, pretend to eat the stickers and you'll have a great class. One other pro is that it is always 1 to 4 students. So it's a lot less pressure than some other platforms where you're always being one-on-one with one other student. This really stressed me out in other platforms, just because I'm not super familiar or practiced in teaching. Just about to turn 24, don't have a ton of years experience, just still kind of figuring it out. So I felt a lot better going into these classes than I did thinking about going into one-on-one classes. Even preparing for VIP Kids classes really stressed me out. The one good thing though here is that you may end up with 1 student, you may end up with 4 students. I have had both and they're actually all incredible. So if you end up with 1 student, it can seem a bit more intimidating, but still the way the platform is set up, it just gives you the opportunity to keep going through that. You can get back on track if there's any distractions, and the kids seem to stay a lot more focused. So I've only taught 1 class where there was 1 student in it, and I actually felt like he understood the material way better after it than some other classes I've taught where there's maybe 3 or 4 students. Because when there are 3 or 4 students, there's always going to be 1 or 2 kids that are just a little bit lower in terms of level than the other students, and you can kind of see them struggling, which it's hard. I am a very sensitive person, and I find it so hard to see the kids struggling, and I just want to help them as much as I can. So there are a few things you can do in terms of helping your students succeed with this platform. So you are actually able to give them hints for some of the games. So if there's one student that really just doesn't seem to be getting it, I make sure to focus on giving them a hint. As well, you can also bring up a text board. And if it's writing or maybe a sentence they're struggling with, I like to type out that sentence and put it just above the student that's struggling. And then they can see it a bit more. And then you're getting all the students to end up with the diamonds, but you're just giving a bit more help to the student that needs it. It is possible when you have 4 students, but it's just a bit more work. So having 1 student in a class can also be good for that. Just, you know that your student understands the lesson completely. One other pro, actually there's so many more, but another pro would be that you can actually request days off. And even after you've had a class booked, you can still cancel it and you're not penalized. So they prefer that you let them know as soon as possible. And they are incredible with this because they actually give you your schedule at least a week in advance. So right now it's Tuesday and I can already see my schedule for next week. So I can kind of plan, see if I have any appointments, anything like that, and just request that class off. And the way the platform is set up is all you have to do is click request off, type in a reason, and it gets removed from your schedule. These classes are then offered to other teachers. I've also had the opportunity to actually accept a lot of bonus classes, I guess you could say. So if teachers cancel last minute, you will get a class invitation in your teacher's portal. So you have the option to actually accept or reject the class invitation. So the first week I taught, I was only scheduled for about 3 or 4 classes, but I actually ended up accepting 12 more. So I still had a full week of courses just from accepting these invitations. So they really provide you with a lot of options to get to teach classes, to have an income. They really just want to set you up to do well, it seems. Yeah, let's just talk about how I'm doing with this so far. I guess my experience with Qkids has been incredible. A great company, a great platform. It was a super quick and easy hiring process, and they really want to help you. The feedback they provide is just proof of that they just want to see you succeed, and they want to have teachers that feel prepared to teach. So even them allowing you to teach actual students before you're hired is a big sign of that. So they want to make sure that you're actually prepared and understand the way to work around a classroom, work around behavior issues as well, before they actually hire you. And this makes you, honestly, I felt so much more comfortable when I actually finally taught a class. Like, my nerves were almost gone by the time I had my legitimate booked class. That was great. I guess how I feel before teaching versus after, I've been finding myself feeling pretty anxious, honestly, probably the first hour before I teach, and I'm just trying to work my way through that. So I've been trying to write before class, I've been trying to meditate if I can, and just get those nerves down a bit more. But I'm a super anxious person, so it's just with everything I do. But after teaching, I feel a ton better. Like, if I accept my classes, teach that morning, and then continue on with my day, I am so much more productive than if I canceled my classes, feel guilty, feel disappointed. I honestly just feel embarrassed when I don't, and then it sets me up for failure for the rest of my day, which has been my cycle lately. So it's really helpful for me to just actually teach the classes versus avoiding them. But we knew that. Let's talk about money. Okay, so I know a lot of people are wondering, do you actually make money from this? I'm paid once. It was for 2 classes, trial classes. Also, fun fact, you get paid to teach all of your trial classes. So I got $16 US for those 2 classes. It was transferred into my account at about $22. 2 half-an-hour classes, I got $22. Be saving about 20% of my income to put for taxes. So since I'm Canadian, I will actually be doing my taxes myself, and I'm gonna have to probably end up paying back some when I do my tax return next year. So I'm just gonna start by putting aside 20% of every paycheck I get from Qkids, just so I don't end up paying a huge lump sum next year and I've already spent it or something, because knowing me, that could happen. So set aside your tax money. Do it. Money, it's real. You actually get paid. They also offer bonuses. So when it comes to the trial classes, you can actually get your performance bonus there as well. So that's a dollar bonus per class. Students' parents rate you 5 stars, you get $1. And then if you actually attend the class and show up 3 minutes before, you get another $1. So last week I ended up with 2 bonuses, one of $16 and one of $17. So not really sure how they added up, but I am going to bring up my wallet app here and just kind of break that down for you so you can see it as well. Right now I have just about 250 in my wallet. So far is only for like 2 weeks of classes, and it's been very gentle classes. So I really could amp it up if I wanted to and probably be making a couple thousand if I really wanted to, but I like to sleep. So I'm not teaching throughout the night. I'm not forcing myself to teach super early if I can't. I've been on medical leave. There's no reason in hurting myself more, so I can't work at all. So I'm just really gonna focus on easing into this and I guess see what happens. So overall, working for Qkids so far has been amazing. I have really started to love it, and I'm really excited to see what it can turn into, I think is the exciting part. I can't wait